We are now seeing progress in removing criminal illegal aliens from our state. Some of the most hardened criminals include carjackers, murderers, rapists, and child sex offenders who came to the U.S. illegally, and they have now been captured through Operation Midway Blitz and are being deported back to their countries. We shouldn't need our federal government to step in and enforce the law in Illinois, but politicians who lead our state and our largest city are busier demonizing law enforcement and inciting violence against them rather than restoring and respecting the rule of law. The bottom line is this: federal law enforcement officers are doing their job, removing illegal criminals from our state. So to my colleagues, to Governor Pritzker and Mayor Johnson, we all have a job to do. We took an oath to serve the constituents of Illinois, and yet some of you are busier giving speeches and attacking the Trump administration while you should be working to repeal the Trust Act and end the disastrous.
So now we got, there's a lot of division in the country right now, and they want you to believe that they want to bring our people in here to actually help them. But this whole thing is a conspiracy, and I'm going to show you. We're going to go to the next video with Antifa. So we're going to see, y'all going to kind of see it come together here in a minute. Now, the other one. Yeah, let's get that undercover.
Sanko is an undercover investigative journalist for Decode the Left who's infiltrated these terror cells. Carlin, tell me about how these people train. They look pretty militaristic.
Yeah, absolutely. They do have sessions where they bring in people with military experience. Anti-war is a very big thing for Antifa, so they do hand-to-hand combat trainings. I was just undercover with them in New York City over the weekend, where they had a whole self-defense class where they were teaching people how to violently, confront the police, but also defend themselves if they needed to be put in that position.
And why do they always get out of jail so quickly? You see all these people get popped, they get bailed right out, and charges never stick. How is that?
Well, Antifa, actually, they train people on how to get arrested. And it's interesting with far-left subcultures because they actually volunteer to get arrested and go through this type of training where they are provided legal support, they are provided lawyers, they are provided all of this stuff with mutual aid. And so as soon as they get arrested, Antifa basically goes down to the jail and they bail them out, and they are all set up with a lawyer and ready to go. So they plan all of this stuff out ahead of time, and they have the resources set up for people to be able to be taken care of.
Yeah, I mean, obviously someone's paying for their legal representation. What is the core mission of Antifa? Is it anarchy? Are they anarchists?
Yeah, Antifa are anarchists. Their primary goal is the violent overthrow of the federal government. I cannot emphasize this enough. We've been hearing a lot of talk about civil war over the last couple years between Democrats and Republicans, red versus blue. I firmly believe that the real civil war we have coming is the radical revolutionary socialists and communists in Antifa versus the federal government. That is their goal. That is their only goal. And people need to start taking this problem very, very seriously.
Hey, look, that's not rhetoric. What she's saying there is absolutely 100% true. So I want you to pull up that Wikipedia document, and you can read that right there. I'm going to show y'all. We're going to put this together. So now I want to show y'all something. Read this from the top. Read what it said right there, Cloward and Piven strategy. Read that.
Cloward Piven strategy. The Cloward Piven strategy is a political strategy outlined in 1966 by American sociologists and political activists Richard Cloward and Francis Fox Piven. The strategy aims to utilize militant anti-poverty groups to facilitate a political crisis by overloading the welfare system via an increase in welfare claims, forcing the creation of a system of guaranteed minimum income, and redistributing income through the federal government.
So that's socialism. So basically what they want to do is this plan right here calls for bringing in unlimited immigrants. Then you get a militarized group to help to overthrow the government, to bring in a new system, do away with the capitalist system that they got here, and bring in socialism. That's what the whole strategy is. So now get the next video with Antifa talking about what Antifa's about.
Have you ever wondered what drives the Antifa movement? Antifa, which stands for anti-fascist, is a decentralized group with a clear mission. Its main focus is to oppose fascism, white supremacy, racism, and far-right extremist ideologies. The core goal of Antifa is to actively confront and prevent the spread of these oppressive movements in society. Antifa activists engage in various actions to disrupt gatherings and activities they see as promoting hate and authoritarianism. These actions can range from peaceful protests to more confrontational measures. From a socialist viewpoint, Antifa's objectives align with broader left-wing goals aimed at challenging systems of oppression and inequality. The movement draws inspiration from different leftist ideologies, including socialism, communism, and anarchism. These
that's all I wanted to get right there. So,
hierarchical
socialism. So that ties right back into the goal that you saw. So the left wing and the right wing have been at war. So this now it's accelerating. So now Antifa is basically the military branch now. First it was the KKK for the Democrats. That's pretty much done away with, you know, for the most part. They might be underground or whatever. Now their new military group is Antifa. And then you had, I think, like the Proud Boys or something with the Republicans or whatever. You're actually seeing a nation divided. You got something, Officer Phinehas?
Yeah. Let's get description Isaiah. Is Isaiah 19. Let's start at verse 2. Let's bring this out real quick because it's prophesied that this would happen. You know, you got these two different parties that at this time are divided. And it's just not political anymore because politics is a religion to many people. They will kill you for their political beliefs. Read.
Isaiah chapter 19, verse 2. And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians.
So the Lord said he's going to set the Egyptians against the Egyptians. Now, this is not the land of Egypt. This is spiritual Egypt. That goes back to Deuteronomy. Hey, read on.
And they shall fight everyone against his brother. And everyone against his neighbor.
Esau fighting Esau. Read.
City against city.
So city against city. It could be Chicago versus New York. Read.
And kingdom against kingdom.
Read on.
And the spirit of Egypt shall fail in the midst thereof.
See that thing? Their spirit's going to fail. Read on.
And I will destroy the counsel thereof.
Read.
And they shall seek to the idols.
Because right now, this is an idolatrous kingdom. Idols are throughout the United States of America. Read on.
And to the charmers.
So their witchcraft. Read on.
And to them that have familiar spirits.
Because we've seen a couple of videos where they got these witches in these assemblies. Read on.
And to the wizards. And to the Egyptians will I give over into the hand of a cruel lord.
So when they have this civil war, one side is going to lose. And that leader of the winning side is going to be a cruel lord.
Let's read that in the Bible.
That's going to rule over the nations with rigor and power. That's why the military will govern this United States. Because if you look back at history, when they had the first civil war in the United States, the Union, after they won, they had troops of the Union in the South to police the people. That was like that for several years until the South got on, or the Confederate got along with the Union, and they put their policies and laws in place. But at that time, the Union policed the people in the South. They're going to do the same thing again. The military is going to police the entire United States. That's why it goes back to the prophecy where the Lord's going to remove the army of the North. You can already see a little bit of that with the troops. The troops policing the states already, policing these cities. You know what I'm saying? Supposedly getting rid of crime.
Hey, I want to see if y'all can pull up. They are trying to hire over 200,000 ICE agents, and they're offering up to $30,000 in signing bonuses. So the right is going to use ICE as their military. And then also, if y'all can look for how they removed Antifa's headquarters and everything out of Portland. So this already a war started. Like, they just shut down their headquarters and removed them out of Portland. So you can see things building up. But a lot of people don't really understand. Like, so when you see the Republicans trying to send back the what they call immigrants and things like that, that was a political strategy to try to collapse the economic system of America, as you can see through the Cloward and Piven strategy. This is a long time left-wing strategy that they had in play. They're not looking out for our people when they bring them over here. They're just using them as political pawns and to try to put them on, and that actually ties into the title, because the majority of the people that's receiving snaps are not citizens of the country right now. So they're actually supporting them. You got it right there? So here it is right here. Look at that right there. Let's read that.
Bring it out. Yes, ICE.
50, dang.
ICE is offering a signing bonus up to $50,000 for new hires, particularly for positions like deportation officers, as part of a broad recruitment drive. This incentive is part of a larger package of benefits aimed at increasing personnel for the agency, which includes other perks such as student loan repayment, according to CNN, PBS, and the ICE website.
All right, we don't want no brothers to leave off the set to go get that 50,000.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
These brothers about to pack up.
But you got to think, a lot of police officers, since they already have a level of experience, might see that and say, hey, sign me up.
There's going to be a lot of them good old boys that's down there sitting in them trailer parks.
Hell yeah.
And all that, they need a couple more washing machines on the porch. They're going to get out there, and, you know, they wouldn't love nothing better than to mess with our people. You know what I mean? Just imagine, you get $50,000, you get paid to do that?
The hell is this?
You know, you got to really think about what type of people is going to sign up for ICE. But pull up that Cloward and Piven thing again, because I don't want people to forget before we move on. I just wanted to see how Esau strategizes. He's way above the Negro. So read the strategy again. Read what it say again.
Strategy. Cloward and Piven's article is focused on compelling the Democratic Party, which in 1966 controlled the presidency and both houses of the United States Congress, to redistribute income to help the poor. They stated that the full enrollment of those eligible for welfare would produce bureaucratic disruption in welfare agencies and fiscal disruption in local and state governments that would deepen existing divisions among elements in the big city Democratic coalition. The remaining white middle class, the working class ethnic groups, and the growing minority poor, to avoid a further weakening of that historic coalition, a national Democratic administration would be constrained to advance a federal solution to poverty that would override local welfare failures, local class and racial conflicts, and local revenue dilemmas.
You see that? So here's the thing. When, like, Bishop and when they went to Cuba, what they want to do is they want to put in a system like Cuba where you get everything is run by the government. So you get rations. So when they ration out and distribute your food, they control all the resources. So hence they control you, because if you're not doing what you're supposed to do, they would just cut off your rations. So it don't, you know, everybody gets rations. You get the same amount. You don't make $200,000 a year and the next person make whatever they make. That's capitalism, where you can, you know, possibly make more money than somebody else. Under communism and socialism, you get a certain set of money. Everything is controlled by the government, and you're controlled by the government. You don't have pretty much no rights. You understand? That's the system that they want to bring in.
Damn.
So that's what the fight is all about. When you see everything that's going on, so. You got anything? Anybody got anything they want to say? Oh, you got a video? Okay, let's get that.
Is Brandy Cruz and Nick Shirley, both independent journalists, of course, who've been covering this. Brandy, explain what happened before that video that we just watched.
Sure. Yeah, I came down to Portland with a mission in mind. I actually was able to get inside the ICE facility, so I was waiting to go do that, and I had been down on the ground for maybe 5 minutes. I went to record and document some of what was happening at and around the encampment. I had a brief interaction with a couple of the Black Bloc militants inside the tent. I even asked them, hey, is the sidewalk open? Can I pass through? You know, being overly polite to the terrorists, I would say. And then as I was trying to go back around, I was literally walking outside their tent area.
So you can see that they're, you know, despite what they say, they're very violent. So they were burning down cities and all of that stuff. They're trying to destroy they're trying to cause basically uprising and cause, you know, all kinds of, to bring the whole system down so they can bring in this new system that they want to bring in. You said there's something on the article? Okay, so let's get the article. So we're going to bring up the article, and this is going to show you that there's already a war started. This war is already underway. Let's get it up on the screen. Where's it at? Oh, here it is right here.
Where's your article?
Nah, it's right there. Nah, it's right there. It's just a headline. Just read that headline right there.
Independent journalist cautions Portland residents against premature celebration after Antifa camp dismantled.
That camp has been in Portland for a while. I think they've had that camp there for like 4 or 5 years. So this is like one of the first strikes in the war where they're starting to, and then also what a lot of people are not putting together, the money, Trump is cutting off the money to the NGOs. That's how they get a lot of their funding. So this is an all-out war because he's hitting them financially by shutting off funding, and then he's going in and tearing down the camps, and then they bringing in ICE agents. You're actually seeing a civil war being played out. A lot of people don't know what they're watching, man. They actually see a battle right now.
Nation is family. Nation is community. Nation is men leading by example. Nation is women's support. Nation is children with role models. Nation is unity. Nation is